And now it's time for the Business Owners Spotlight Series. You are watching part 2 of an interview with Mr. JT Hustles. If you have yet to watch part 1, make sure that you go back and watch it. Link in the description. Don't forget to check out part 3 of my interview with Mr. JT Hustles. Link in the description and also at the end of this video.
Usually you will be raised by your family. They'll instill ethics with you. You're gonna work on the farm. So they was like, let's put them in an environment and teach them structure. Let's have the teacher be the authoritarian and let's train them while they're young, because young children, you can influence them, you can instill certain things in them that they'll carry with them the rest of their life. So you're in a format where the teacher is the authority. The teacher tells you when to talk, when not to talk, when to eat, when to play, and that's how you raised up.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, you go to college and it's more leniency, but still it's a certain time you got to be at this class. You can eat around this schedule, right? And they even tell you it's a schedule. Like you got a class schedule. When you get to work, you have a work schedule. So now, let's say you get to the workforce at 23 years old. You went through childhood, through 12 years of school, 4 years of college, you 22, 23 years old. It's far easier for me to tell that man or woman, or even if you join the military, because keep in mind,
I said sound familiar.
Yeah, it's far easier to tell that person, hey, JT, be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. This is what you wear. This is what time I'm gonna let you eat. This is what time I'm gonna let you go home. I'm gonna
get conditioned.
Yeah, you've been conditioned, but even more so than that, you remember I told you influencer marketing is historically the most beneficial, the most powerful marketing of all time. So people come at me all the time and be like, oh, you always trying to sell something. Everybody is always trying to sell something. In life, you trying to sell yourself to a mate, to an employer, so they'll keep you there around. So they instill that in your ancestors. They raise you that way. So now, yes, you being taught this at school, but then when you go home, your mom and daddy telling you the same thing. Oh, the teacher say you talking too much. Teacher saying you playing too much. Why you don't stop talking? Why you don't listen to them? Why you don't do this and that? So they're reinforcing
conform.
Yeah, so they trained you. So now, fast forward, you run across some nappy head dude with a scruffy beard on the internet telling you, I got an uncle that been making over $60,000 a month, long as I can remember.
I'm sorry, that just doesn't seem very corporate to me.
Yeah. And if you see my uncle, like, it's people that I know that work like a dog and they don't make 6 figures a month. I've been with my uncle, man, he'll get the guy started. We done went fishing. We come back with a bucket of fish. He check on the job. All right, cool. All right, y'all go. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll bring the guys back. We'll go to like a grocery store, grab food for everybody, drop off food during the lunch break. Man, we might go to the mall, might walk around. All right, now keep in mind, he been in business since the 80s. So, and I asked him, I didn't get it at the time. I was like, man, entrepreneurship is fun, and I want to be this type of entrepreneur. But then once I got older and became an entrepreneur, he instilled in me that, hey, I want to force these guys to be able to work without me, because I don't want to create a business that doesn't function without me. So for years, he would stay there with them all the time. And if something came up business related, I got to go give this person an estimate. I got to go do this for the business, The guys wouldn't work at all. So he was like, nah, this is not a sustainable business model. So he started making up reasons why, hey, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to develop a system. This is what to do. You know what to do. I'm going to give you tasks. And whether I got something to do or not, I want to train my subcontractors or my employees, since now we the bosses and you already used to the system anyway, because your teachers taught you that and your parents reinforced it. Hey, this is what you do. All right. Because think about your typical 9-to-5 job. Now, some jobs suck and you micromanaged all day long, but lots of times you know what to do. Hey, go here, drop the fries. When it beat, pull them up, add salt, dump them over here, hit the town. All right. So stuff like that. But I want to enter any other questions you got or any other direction you want me to go in, because I'm
I think, like I said, you hit all the points. Maybe not in the order that I would have given them, and definitely not to the level, because my level is here, and you're so far beyond me that's why you're one of my digital virtual mentors.
Man, it's all good,
Pretty
man.
much, I'm gonna ask you in the next five. Well, I was gonna ask you, what stage are you in? Are you in the growing, in the maintaining, or scaling? I think you've already answered that. So the follow-up question to
I'm
where
growing.
your business is what after this? Where do you see your business in the next 5 to 10 years? And what is your end goal? Do you want to ultimately keep this? Do you want to sell it? The question is, do you want to pass it on to your children? I'm pretty sure I already know that answer.
Absolutely.
And yeah, what is the future of your businesses?
Absolutely. I plan on 5 to 10 years. I'm still going to be growing. I love marketing. That's my passion, because out of all the skills that you can have in life, what I notice is that people discount the skill to market. But I'm like, man, if you think about it, if you learn marketing, you can do any business out there, and you don't have to really figure it out. There's so much information out there. If you spend the time to learn it, and we live in the social media age where I can instantaneously ask you what you think about this. Yeah. Hey, if I come out and I start selling, I don't know, clown noses in purple, would you buy them? All right. People will say yes, no, or they won't say anything at all, which is worse than no, because if nobody responds to your post, that tells me that you're not able to stop the thumb. Most people are viewing your content on a mobile device. They're scrolling, and you compete in your business is competing with the pretty cat photos. It's competing with the half-naked women, the fancy cars, the people that's showing money but maybe don't got it like that. So you got to compete with all of that, whether you conscious of it or not.
Now, say that part again, just in case people didn't hear it. What'd you say about those people that were showing money? Say that part just in case they didn't catch it.
Oh yeah. People showing money that don't really have it. Yeah, that's why like I rarely show money. I talk about money a lot, but I'm like, man, honestly, hey, if people be like, yo, when JT cut the camera off, he go drop fries at Wendy's. Hey, to each their own. But I've trained so many people that have sustainable businesses, and they hit me up all the time saying, hey, I got this many trucks. I'm doing this now. I got this many technicians, and we're gonna keep growing. That at this point, I think a lot of people know that, hey, my energy is high, but it's not like I'm trying to get you excited and sell you a dream. I recently came into my own. Oh, another thing too, I want to tell you guys about is I have an app. All right, so moving forward, 5 to 10 years, I'm going to continue to grow. I want to, all the existing income streams I have, I want to double down on them, create systems for them, whether it's through software or hiring people or whatever. Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com is a resource that will connect you with people that can do a lot of the work for you for a little or nothing, right? Anything you could think you need. You need a graphic designer. You need somebody to make a commercial for your business, but you don't know how to do editing and stuff like that. Cool. I learned how to edit myself watching YouTube videos. If you are a mother of 6 kids and you work 8 hours a day and you got a family, you don't got time like that, you can go to Fiverr.com and let them do it $5, $10, $15. You pick how much it is, and you can actually post a request and have them do a bidding war on you. So you can go on there, you can search for them, or if you say, I'm too busy to even do that, you can make an account. It's free. You can post a request. It's free. They'll come to you and do a bidding war. You'll pick who you want. All right. So I have an app now. It's a very basic app. The app is called JT's Courier Run. It's available on all Android devices now. You guys can download it. I have an iPhone version. It's going to be available for those Team Apple people here soon. But Apple is a whole nother beast. It's just red tape though, right? They got more red tape than Android. So depending on when you're watching this, it's probably already out. But if you watch this immediately, just know we're in the process this week of hopefully getting everything approved and having it out there. So my app on face value, and this is the psychology behind it. You're going to start off with a dump truck. You racing the clock to get to your stops. Your stops are a pile of money. All right, if you run out of time, you fail the level, you got to start over. If you lose your freight, you crash into another car, you stop, right? I did it like that, and on face value, it's real simple because while the majority of my audience is adults, me being a marketer, me being a nerd studying business, want to teach other people business and make it cool, I understand that if you can get somebody young, it's super powerful. So while a percentage of my audience are going to play it and support it, I want you guys to know that the app was designed for kids. So it's not super analytical. Like the breakdowns that I gave you guys and how we're talking about generational wealth and how I want to encourage you guys to create LLCs and then get family trust and how to do all of this fancy business stuff. That's gonna go over some adults' heads. So if I try to put that in a game, ain't no kid on America gonna play it. But subconsciously, what you'll notice in the app is that there's 5 different vehicles in the app, right? You do levels, and it's 10 levels. After you do those 10 levels, you can redo certain levels and you accumulate money. As you accumulate money, you can use that money to buy other vehicles. And then ultimately you make it to the leaderboard. The psychology behind it is that if you apply that same principle to your real life, you'll create a recession-proof transportation company. Because you'll have a dump truck, you'll have a trash company, you'll have an independent courier company, you'll have a bread route. So the same vehicles that are in there are the same vehicles that if you in your real life develop the portfolio of those businesses, you'll never have to worry about money the rest of your life. And the numbers are accurate as of right now, but as time goes on, they'll be off. But literally the amount of money, right? So as you make it to your stops, you get $1,000, whatever. The amount of money you have to get to purchase that vehicle as of right now is the exact same amount in dollars you would need in real money or credit in order to go buy that same vehicle. But like I said, if you download the app 10 years from now, the principle is still the same, but maybe a garbage truck is more, a bread van is less, just depends on what happens. And I did it that way, one, because a lot of people subscribe to my brand because of the independent courier content. And there are a lot of truckers. They want to get off the road. They're not making no money in trucking. I recently did a video about somebody expediting. They made $100,000 in a year. Profit was $70,000. And they driving around, seeing the country, and they made $70,000. And another nugget I want to talk about, this is going to be super controversial. I want you guys to see it. All right, there's a book right here, How to Pay Zero Taxes. All right, so my uncle been telling me this for years, and I link different books in my Instagram bio. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm JT Hustlez with a Z at the end. My uncle told me years ago, I thought it was being arrogant. So I get it when I say this. A lot of people will think it's arrogant too. My uncle been telling me for years, the only people that pay taxes are, I don't know what word I can say on here, but with jobs.
The uninitiated.
Yeah.
Those who don't know better. Yeah. The uninitiated. Yeah.
So he was, we'll say it that way. The only people that pay taxes are people with jobs. All right. So at first, keep in mind, he told me this while I was in college. I'm like, man, I'm going to go corporate America. I'm going to be an attorney. So I ain't trying to hear that. Fast forward now, to be honest with you, I see that. All right. So it's a good chance that percentage-wise, your employer pays less taxes than you out of their income. All right. And that's because the laws are written in favor of the business owner, because how nations, my undergrad degree is in political science. Very boring unless you like politics like me. But what you'll learn, all of my political sciences out there, is that how countries are rated, graded, measured is based off of their level of intelligence and what they produce, how much money they got, and what are your math scores, your science scores, stuff like that, right? So if you create jobs and you increase the GDP in your own small little way, that makes the country as a whole look better. So they have laws that are in favor of employers and business people, because I'm recently getting into real estate. I know a lot of people that's in real estate. I'm just late to the game. So there's a lot of tax breaks that are legal and things that I can do as a real estate investor. I'm creating affordable housing, or I'm creating housing, period. I can do luxury apartments. I'm creating housing for the people. The government wants to incentivize safe, clean housing, Section 8 program. All right, so it's people out there, the government will literally give you money if you allow certain low income people that probably can't in and of themselves afford to stay here. Hey, they'll supplement it, they'll make up the rest. All right, so it's stuff like that. My female mentor, she was beating me over the head about starting a daycare center. It wasn't until I had a daughter that I really listened to it. Cause I'm like, man, I'm a guy. That ain't no man business. I ain't interested in it. It's been making over 6 figures a year profit, not gross profit, over $117,000 every year in her pocket after everything. But I was like, nah. Then I had a daughter, and I was like, hold on, this business ain't going nowhere. All right, to the end of time, there's gonna be babies. People gonna need a safe place to put these babies. So that's another business right there that I wanted to put my daughter in as well. And now, again, moving forward with the app, that's a way that I tell you guys, Hustle Academy is for the older people that are serious about it and they ready. I developed this app, the first of many apps, to try to reach the children. I'm also going to do an animation. If you go to the
JT's Courier Run.
Yeah, JT's Courier Run. This is the graphic, right? Well, this is actually my logo and my graphic here. I got on these masks. And we're gonna actually do an animation. So I tell people I already know how to get a YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers, but as of this recording, my YouTube channel is not at 100,000 subscribers, and I got a feeling I know why. It's the niche. You know, people will choose entertainment over education 9 times out of 10. But you guys know I'm really big on studying stuff like that. But I said so I said once my channel gets to 100,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do an animation. I'm gonna do a cartoon. It's gonna be silly. It's gonna be fun. Like, you know what I mean? So if y'all like business and stuff, y'all probably gonna hate the cartoon. But you gotta keep in mind, man, hey, sometimes you gotta put the medicine in the milk, as they say. So I'm gonna do a cartoon, but it will have same way that the game. If you just drive around in the game, you might like, man, hey, it's a pretty boring game or it's a pretty fun game, just depending on your kid. And we just drive around, get money all day. All right, and then I buy new cars, and I'm doing giveaways too. So I'm gonna be doing Starbucks and Google, Google Play gift cards and whatever else. We're gonna just decide as a whole what kind of gift cards people want. But I want to start reaching people at a younger age, because for the last 2 years I've been beating up on older people saying, hey, you can be an entrepreneur. And some of them believe me.
And some are stuck in their ways.
Yeah, and I understand the fear now too. It could be how you were raised. Well, a lot of people was how they were raised, but also people had certain life experiences. So maybe you tried to do something and failed. And what I have found is that, believe it or not, people would much rather not do something at all that can better themselves than to be embarrassed. All right, people, they don't want to fail, so they don't want to say, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, I'm gonna talk about this, and then 6 months later, they got 0 subscribers, and then people say, what about your YouTube channel? It ain't work out. I made content, I ain't got not 1 subscriber, right? It just does something to people, and people don't want to be embarrassed. So I still want to instill in people like, hey, Lord willing, we all get old one day. At the end of your life, would you rather say, hey, I didn't take any risk? Yeah, I didn't take any risk and I lived a mediocre life, or hey, I lived a life of no regret. Hey, I might not have made that $1 million, that $1 billion. I never had a Lamborghini, but I feel like, you know, with the gift that God gave me with X amount of years of life, whatever your time is, yeah, I maximized it, because what I don't like, in one man's opinion, I don't like that people are going to use the best years of their life making somebody else rich and spending time enjoying their life. All right, so and I'll tell you too, another thing too is unrealistic expectations. Remember we touched on, I was telling you guys, be patient with yourself. So
let me go back to the failure real quick, because I feel like you're reading the questions on my screen. People are afraid to fail, and the question up here is, how do you bounce back from failure? When you've had that YouTube channel with no subscribers, when you tried that business and it failed, how do you bounce back from failure? and keep moving forward.
Yeah, man. What I do, man, is I really sit down and I evaluate the situation, and there's always a reason why you fail. Now, a lot of people, they get so frustrated and they so emotionally invested in it that they don't want to take a step back and say, "Hey, bare bones, call a spade a spade. Was it me? Did I mess up? Was it whatever?" My very first YouTube channel never got over 100 subscribers. To this day, it has like 40 or 50 subscribers. My YouTube channel can get that in a couple hours now. But it's the same. Matter of fact, it's older than the JT Hustlez YouTube channel. When I did that channel and it failed, I asked myself, okay, yo, am I not a good content creator? And what I realized is that,
be honest sometimes.
Yeah, I was modeling my first YouTube channel off of other people's YouTube channel. Now, not saying that you can't learn from other people's blueprint, because I'm a firm believer that you can learn from other people's blueprint, but you got to also understand that where's the line where this is the blueprint that works for people and this is the knockoff version.
Yeah, you're just trying to copy at that point.
Yeah, because you got to keep in mind, if you're trying to market to Hermes customers or Gucci customers, and these people have the buying power to get real Gucci, or they can get your knockoff Gucci. Why would we get the fake version when we can get the real thing? A lot of people will do that. So I'm like, I'm making content, I'm following the blueprint, but why are you going to watch my video if it's just like so-and-so's video?
Yep.
I'm using the same slogans, same whatever. It's obvious that I'm copycatting them unless you don't know them. But since I'm making similar videos, similar content, same mannerisms, same speech patterns, it's like, it just bled through and people can see through that. So I think that whatever your business is, even if it's not YouTube, whatever it is, really, and it's sometimes it might take somebody else telling you that too, because you might be so invested in it. I got a partner of mine now. He want to get into the merchandising business. I tell him, hey, where I'm at in life right now, I want to have a media company. That's my long-term goal. I did marketing, had a marketing agency, grew my businesses, grew other people's businesses. So I said, man, hey, I'm learning real estate and tech, but everything that I do now, I wanted to finance my media company that I want to build by the time I'm 50. So as he designs his t-shirt business, he's not putting out any of his designs. And the problem that he will have, I already know it. I tell him, and I didn't help people start so many businesses. I know it, but he's so emotionally in it. He's an artist. Like, he can really draw, but like, his art is so close to chess that he was like, I don't want to put it out there. I want to do all of this and then I want to put it out there. But you gotta really be able to say, hey, what's the blueprint? Hey, if I fail at this, because I want to say he will fail at it initially, just like I failed at YouTube initially. But if you give up, hey, to me personally, anybody that fails and gives up, that tells me that it's not really meant for them. I think that in every part of life, you're going to run into some failures. Even if you say, I'm going to play it safe, I'm going to get a job. 9 times out of 10, not every job you apply for, not every interview you went to ended up with you getting a job. But yet that same individual will say, well, I had to get money, so I did another resume, I did another interview, and then I finally got a job. So just because
good analogy.
Yeah, just because you failed at something once doesn't mean that you give up on it for forever, right? So at this point, that's why I don't even mind documenting my failures and telling people, because I know whether I know what your failure personally is or not, I know that you failed at something before in life. I know that you'll fail again at something in life. Now, failing don't mean that you homeless on the street and you butt naked. But even if you do get homeless on the street butt naked, you can still bounce back from that.
Slowly get back.
Yeah,
Who said it? Is somebody famous that said something along the lines of, once you know how to make money, it doesn't matter how many times you fail, you already know how to make money. You can lose it all, and get it back because you already have the formula.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's a true statement, 100%. And I tell people, man, I'm sharing a lot of stories with you guys. Hey, I'm gonna keep going to whenever she want to cut it off.
I'm gonna wrap it up with some fun stuff because you did show you gave me. There's so much here to digest. I could let you go on and on just for my personal benefit because I already got my notes. I'm already taking down my notes. But I'm gonna wrap it up because I do want to be mindful of your time. I know you have so many things that you're working on. You is it just me or did you release 3 videos today? Because I thought I saw something. I'm like, wait, what? What?
Yeah, I got 3 videos today. I'll probably drop 3 more tomorrow. One more that I want to make, if you don't mind, is that I want to stress to everybody the importance of reading. And when I say reading, if you can't find the time to read a paperback book,
but what about people who don't like to read? It's just so much to read.
That's what audio books and ebooks.
Thank you.
This is another real life story. I know my boy gonna kill me because I always use his name. We call him Jay White. His first initial J, his last name White, but he's my complexion. Believe it or not, Jay White's mother is Caucasian. She Hillary Clinton White. Jay White's dad is like Mr. Brown from Meet the Brown, Tyler Perry, darker than him. So that's why, you know what I mean? But his biological mother is Caucasian. The reason why I tell you that is because growing up, Jay White a good friend of mine. And the story has a happy ending, but it starts off a little sad. So Jay White was raised by a single mother as well. Growing up, people thought that Jay White had a mental disability because he didn't talk a lot. Nothing's wrong with him. Turned out to be one of the smartest guys I ever met, right? So I think Jay White wasn't talking a lot, or he was just in a situation where, and he shared this with me, and it always stuck with me and has made me a better entrepreneur for it, that he would be in environments with other Caucasian people. Obviously, your mother's Caucasian, you might be in that circle. And he said one thing that stuck out to him in his childhood was he heard Caucasian people say around him, thinking that he wasn't able to comprehend that if you don't want an N word to know something, put it in a book. All right. So I don't know why, out of everything he went through, that stuck with him, but he told me that years later. We in college. Met Jay White in college. Great dude. Fast forward. Jay White is the first guy I ever met that had $20,000 cash. We was in college now. So $1,000 was a lot of money then. Jay White had read books, saved $20,000 before he was 22. He is now one of the top officers in the United States Army, a real estate investor, on several properties all over Tennessee. And, you know, I don't want to take credit and say that's what did it, but I know for him to say he experienced that in his childhood and in his 20s, he tells me that, I know that's one thing that stuck with him. So once he told me that, I wasn't a big reader. And I was like, yo, I'm going to open up some books, man. Like that, and me losing money in business and not having anybody to ask. Because to date, I make the most independent courier content on the platform. There's nobody on YouTube that talks more about being an independent courier, how to start business, how to start that business and be successful with it than me. Over 100 videos, thousands of subscribers tune in just for that content. So when I had questions about something before I had the mentors that I have now, I had to go Google it. I had to go find books. I had to invest in myself. So I really want to stress to you guys, if it's anything you want to know, get into a habit of reading. I'll tell you, if you feel like business books are boring, what somebody told me, which worked for me, they was like, whatever you would watch on TV, buy a book for that. So if you like to laugh, they make books that are funny. So it don't got to be a cartoon book or a children's book. There are some authors that like, yo, they just so gifted at writing. Mm-hmm. You'll be laughing like you watching a movie, just reading what they say. If you into scary movies, by a Stephen King novel or whoever, super scary book out there. And that's how you ease yourself into reading. And also, you don't say, I got to read a book a day like Warren Buffett. You say, I'm going to read a book a month. and you go into the table of contents, and it got 4 chapters in it for easy math. I'm gonna read 1 chapter a week, and you just make time for it, and you catch up on the weekend because life happens. So Saturday evening before you go to sleep, or Sunday evening after church before you go to sleep, you say, man, I'm gonna make time to catch up on my chapters. Right now, no matter what, I'm gonna put the phone down, I'm gonna cut the TV off. And once you develop that habit, I'll tell you that, man, that has helped me get to the point where anything can happen in life. But by the grace of God, I personally believe that I'll never need a job. I'm not too good for a job. If everything fell apart before my daughter needs anything, hey, I'll be sweeping floors, flipping burgers. But realistically, the blueprint that I've been following and how I've been handling my money and learning and not being too prideful, no matter how much money I make, to tell somebody I don't know everything. I don't know. Will you teach me about this? Will you teach me about that? That has allowed me to grow. So I want to strongly encourage you guys before we get to your point. I hate to cut you off, but hey,
no, you're good. Read.
If it's one habit, man, hey, read. And
it's not just for the bookshelf. It's not just to make your bookshelf look cute. It's there to open up and read.
Yeah, so definitely get your audio books count. And if you drive to work and drive,
I just gotta make the time.
Yeah, man, that's Gary V book right there. That jab. Yeah, man. So definitely, man, if you can start reading, I'm gonna tell you something. It don't matter what anybody tells you. Like somebody can come to me today, say, JT, you don't know what you're talking about. You scamming people. You ain't gonna make no money. But the books that I read give me the confidence. And like I tell you, most times fear comes from a lack of knowledge. So my last employer was Warren Buffett. You can't come to me and say, JT, you doing too much. You need to get really good at this one thing. Why don't nobody tell that to Jeff Bezos? All right, why does Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, he was just supposed to be selling books. That's it.
Yeah. Amazon sells everything. Even beyond that, before Donald Trump got in office, the newspaper that Jeff Bezos owns was circulated around the White House. You know, they don't get along, so he ended that circulation. But also Alexa, all right, the Amazon Alexa device and how that's growing. And Jeff Bezos owns more than Amazon. Amazon made him the most money. He's most famous for that. But even though Amazon makes some billions of dollars, he don't need a paper, but he owns a paper. And he got other investments. Just like Warren Buffett has a lot of stuff. You can get the tires on your car might be from the company that Warren Buffett's on. Even if it's not, there is over a 90% chance everything in your house, even if he doesn't own the company, it got
a big share in it.
Yeah, because he owns the #1 transportation, the #1 trailer leasing company in the United States. It's called Extra Corporation. If you go to BerkshireHathaway.com, yeah, you'll see semi-trailers going up and down the road. They'll say Extra Lease. There's only 2 companies in the entire nation that have trailers that service the entire United States. Extra Corporation is the first one. The second one is Premier Trailer Leasing. I know that because I was a manager for Extra Corporation. Premier was started by people that got fired from Extra Corporation. They got mad. They started Premier. So even though Premier at some point if Premier gets that good, he'll buy it back. But he'll buy it and put it back in Extra. But that's a nugget too. Even outside of that, what a lot of people don't know is Pepsi has a trucking company. Not just the trucks that say Pepsi on the side. They own trucks and semi-trailers that don't say anything related to Pepsi on it. They do that because if that truck ever gets in an accident and it says Joe Schmo Trucking, and you will say, I'm going to sue you for $1 million because, you know, you broke my leg, my back hurt, and you totaled my car. If it said Pepsi, I'm going to sue you for $1 billion. So, like, I strongly encourage more income. If you go down the rabbit hole, you'll find out that, hey, these big brands out here do it all the time. So it's almost disrespectful, but at the same time, you got to understand that the ignorance that people have. People don't know that, hey, 9 times out of 10, everything in your house is either owned by or got to where you got it from these handful of companies owned by these handful of people. And if you really care to know, you can find that out. Average person doesn't care. They just want it at a certain price. They get it. They got it. It's over with. But us as entrepreneurs, we look at that and say, you can't tell me I can't have 100 businesses, because he has 100 businesses and nobody ever tells him not to. Nobody will ever tell Warren Buffett that you have enough businesses, don't buy no more businesses. Right? It's crazy. It's unheard of.
It's right? Like, why not? Why do you do that? Because I can. Why not?
Say, hey, I'm gonna start a car wash today. Next year, once I master the car wash business, or even 6 months. Like, I ain't trying to limit nobody. You might can catch on and exceed at a business faster than most. 6 months, I mastered the car wash business. Now we're a car detailing business. I'm also going to do a t-shirt company as well. Or my customers at this business, they put me on this other business. So now I'm going to do a cleaning service as well. I'm going to go to Amazon services. Amazon services is when you go to Amazon.com, most people just go to the search bar. They type in what they're looking for. You scroll all the way to the bottom. You click Amazon services. It's free to sign up. It's a whole list of different things that you can tell them what you do. It is an associated cost as far as you might have to provide the material. So if you're going to do a cleaning business, they're going to want you to have liability insurance, because Amazon not going to pay for nothing. You come in my house, you break my computer, you steal my TV, right? All of that's going to be on you. So they're going to require that you have liability insurances, and they also not going to give you a vacuum cleaner. You got to come with your own vacuum cleaner, broom, whatever you need, and stuff like that. But it's stuff like that that I really want people to know. If I could leave you with anything in this almost 2-hour live stream, and we keep going until you're ready to go. I want people to understand, read, and I want you to understand that you 100% can be an entrepreneur. If for whatever reason your personality type says that I don't want to be an entrepreneur, that's not to say that you can't, but life is too short for you to, do what you hate, right? You might as well keep a job if you're going to do something you hate just for the money. I 100% believe everybody can be an investor. So if you search yourself and you say, you know what, I really hate people. I don't want to deal with customers. I don't want to hire nobody to deal with the people. I can't find no software that works to deal with the people. Then I would tell you, look at investing. What can I invest in? Stock, real estate, tech, apps. I did a recent video. Actually, that video dropped. What time is it? All right, that video dropped yesterday now, since over midnight. But I was telling people how before I even started marketing the first app, JT's Courier Run, that you could download organically, it was making 40 cents a day. 40 cents a day ain't going to feed none of us. However, what I tell people, though, is that I didn't tell nobody about it. It was just there. Before I told people about it, organically in the App Store, available in over 120-something countries, it was making 40 cents a day. I did the math. That's $146 a year. Still not going to make us rich. If we have 30 of them, we have over $4,000 a year passive income. We didn't do anything. Oh, JT, it costs a lot of money to make an app. Not so. It costs a lot of money if you're lazy, meaning that if somebody tells you to make your app, it's going to cost $10,000, and you write it off and say, okay, I got to either learn how to do a lot of coding, or I myself just have to come up with $10,000. It cost me $112 to make the app. First year is gonna, if I don't market it in the week or so it's been out there before I start telling people, it will make 146 the same year. How many investments out there, regardless of the dollar amount, right? Real estate, trucking business, what business can you say in 1 year, I'm going to not only make all of my money back, the business is also on autopilot. I don't have to reinvest any more money. The business is self-sustaining, and it cash flows a profit to me every year on autopilot. System is in place. All right, so yeah, you can start a business that makes more dollars. However, how practical is it? And once you grow, it'll be super practical. Trust me. But for the people that say I ain't got a lot of money, okay, at some point over a 12-month period, I think you're gonna come up with $100, $200. You can make a app. I think that if somebody said, "Oh, I got a gun, you got to come up with 40 cents a day or it's over. We would figure out how to make 40 cents.
Be motivated to do it.
So I tell people, man, you got to have that same kind of hustle, especially the people that have the most success that follow me are the people that hate their job. It's people that love their job and they view my content as motivational. I have no problem with it. I still try to encourage them. But the people that have made the most money that have been following me are the people that's like, hey, I hate my job, but I got a wife, I got kids, or I got a husband, I got kids. I'm a single woman, I got kids, I got a mortgage, I got all of these bills, what I'm going to do. And I tell them, hey, boom, educate yourself. Before you spend a lot of money with me, there is nothing, believe it or not, I make enough money off of my books to pay all of my overhead, rent and utilities. I rent this townhouse that I stay in now. I bought a house that we're gonna fix up, rent out, and do whatever. And we could talk about real estate a little bit more if you care to know. But just off of the books, just the book money alone, that income stream funds this. There is nothing in my books that I don't tell you for free in a YouTube video.
So already that's two residuals right there: the app and the books, and everything else is almost passive but active. Yeah. The app and the books, residual and passive income.
Yep. And the YouTube channel, I got over 700 videos on YouTube.
And the YouTube videos, because once you make them, they're there and they can be rewatched again and again. I forgot. Okay, so that's 3 right there.
And every entrepreneur, regardless of what your business is, should have a YouTube channel. It's not about, I don't want to be YouTube famous. I don't want to be on the camera and this and that. You got to think about this. YouTube, as of right now, and I always preface stuff by that because we live in a living economy. Things can change tomorrow. As of right now, YouTube is the top 2, the number 2 search engine behind Google. Google owns YouTube. If you're a YouTuber, you know that because you got to have a Google AdSense account in order to get paid. Google also owns what they call the AdMob account. AdMob is basically how people with apps get paid as well. So I don't see Google going anywhere. I don't see Amazon going anywhere. Amazon is how I publish my books. That's part of my system for that. So I tell people, and I got a butterfly, something in here. A little one. That's why I keep. If you see me doing this, hey, like I ain't catching the Holy Ghost. I'm trying to keep the butterfly. So my bad, y'all. If they like, yo,
no, I didn't even notice. Speaking of books, this is part of the speed round here. This is nothing but fun stuff. Just to wrap it up, you've talked about the importance of reading books. What is the last book that you read, and what is the first book you would recommend other people to read?
Millionaire by 30. I'm almost done with it, but that's the book that I'm finishing up now. Matter of fact, the exact name is Millionaire by 30. I got it right here. Give me a second to get my junk off of it. Millionaire by 30, The Quickest Path to Early Financial Independence. Douglas R. Andrew, Imran D. Andrew, Aaron R. Andrew. This is the book. Now keep in mind, if you already passed 30, it's not saying don't read the book. The whole principle of the book is telling you what you can do in a decade in a practical way to become a millionaire. So Millionaire by 30 is like a catchy title to make people want to buy the book. But you can be 50 and it's Millionaire by 50.
The principles will work.
Yeah. The first book that I encourage somebody to read is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Because what I like about Rich Dad is because chapter 1 is going to explain to you that rich people don't work for money. And that is something that you, coming from the job mentality, coming from the low income mentality, that's going to sound like a lie. That's going to sound crazy. But I like that book because right out the gate, Robert Kiyosaki tells you like, hey, the rich people don't work for money. And they're going to explain that. Also, a lot of people say it take money to make money. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was published. Give me 1 second. I don't want to misquote it.
I say 94.
Before the end. We're going to do this live, y'all, so bear with me. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was published in 1997. I was born in 1990. I'm 29 years old. I wasn't thinking about business at 7 years old. People older than me still say it takes money to make money. A book that was published when I was 7 years old, it makes a point about, just to give you the abbreviated version, Rich Dad is the father of Robert Kiyosaki's best friend. Poor Dad is his biological dad. One of the assignments or challenges, if you will, that he used to teach them how to be successful entrepreneurs when they were in Hawaii, which is where he's from, was how can you add assets in your asset column without buying them? Meaning that you could buy stocks and get a dividend payment. You can buy a house and rent it out or resell it. You can buy a business or spend money to start a business. But how can you add an asset to your asset column? And by definition, I'm a firm believer in the Robert Kiyosaki or the Rich Dad definition of an asset, meaning that an asset is only a true asset if it cash flows to you every month. All right. So if you buy a house, you live in the house, you bought the house for $200,000, it's worth $1 million now. It's not an asset unless it's cash flowing to you every month. Now, that's the definition that I use, right? However, it's not to say that it's not value there. And if you want to consider an asset, you can. But one of the flaws that he teaches is that that's what keeps a lot of people from really making a lot of money, because they misclassifying assets on their financial statements. And that's what's hurting them. But the answer to the question, or should I tell them or should I make them read the book?
Read the book. And there's an audio version on YouTube, so there's no excuse.
Yeah, so listen to the audio version of Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's going to explain to you why it doesn't take money to make money. All right, so yeah.
Funniest or most embarrassing thing that has happened to you in one of your businesses?
Okay, in the early stages of my independent courier business, I wanted to take a day off to go meet a girl, right? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, yo, started at 24, and hey, it's cool, I'm making money, I got cars, even though I'm driving every day. So I went to drop my guys off to do the route, right? The company that gave me the route, I was right underneath the regional manager. Me and him is tight. I come to him, I'm collar shirt, pants pulled up, belt tucked in, steel toe boots, wore my Marine Corps boots, my Marine Corps hat, let them know I'm a veteran, real professional, have a great rapport with them. I show up in a BMW, rap music playing, dropping my boys off. I don't smoke, they smoke. So it's a cloud of smoke coming out the car. They hop out, they sagging, but they pulling their pants up. They got on wife beaters, they putting their shirt on. And I look up to drive off, regional manager looking me in the face. Like, so it was super embarrassing. Now he's never there. Never there. We doing this for months. He'll hit me up on the phone. I'm like, yeah, man. Hey. Yeah. So regional manager looking at me in the face. We still got it done though. Yeah, it was embarrassing to me. And ever since then, I realized, like, man, you never know who's watching you or what the situation may be. So yeah, so always just think about, who may see you. You always representing your brand. And I don't consider it necessarily a bad thing to listen to rap music, but traditionally you don't want to come to work blasting rap music, cloud of smoke coming out of your passenger window and stuff like that. All right. So since then, way more mature, but yeah, that's most embarrassing.
You're just more mindful of how you present.
Yeah.
What is your favorite foreign place to visit or that you want to visit? I mean, nobody's traveling anywhere right now, but your favorite foreign place to go or that you would like to go?
I want to go to Belize. I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan while I was in the Marine Corps. I love Japan. It was real hot. I was as light-skinned as kid when I went. I came back this color. It was that hot. But I really like Belize, South America. I linked with some guys when I was in the service. They were from Ecuador, Guatemala, and etc. They was telling me how beautiful it was, but they were saying how certain parts was dangerous. And they first introduced me to Belize. They was like, Belize a little bit safer. They speak English since you don't know Spanish. So they were like, yo, just check it out. So I started researching it. Beautiful country. I really want to go down there, buy some real estate, do some things. So my plan was this year to go to Belize, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to go. So that's my place, though. Belize and South Africa.
I think I might have a good idea of what your mantra might be. I didn't even get a chance to ask you because you already answered it. What was your company? Hold on, let me go back up. Your company motto or slogan, and it's pretty much shut up and hustle.
Yeah, shut up and
Outside outside of that, do you have a specific like, hey, hashtag shut up
yeah,
and hustle?
yeah.
Outside of that, do you have a specific like mantra or prayer or affirmation that you do just to kind of keep you grounded and keep you going forward when things may seem a little bit not so confident? I mean, you seem like a confident person, but you're also a human being. So I'm sure you have those moments where you might have some doubt, you might have some just maybe some non-motivation from time to time. Do you have like an affirmation or mantra or anything that you go to?
Yeah, man. Let me find it. Deuteronomy 33:25. I'm gonna sum it up for those people that don't want to hear it. But the biggest part to me is as thy days so shall thy strength be. And what I was raised and what I was taught that to me is that, if the most high is on your side, if you keep him first and etc., all of that good stuff that we was raised as just being and my core ain't nothing but a little church boy, ain't no gangster, ain't nothing like that. So what that means to me, right, is that similar to the scripture that people go to when they talk about the Lord and never put nothing on you that you can't bear, right? Talking about if you want to his, right? So that's that scripture that I like. Again, for anybody that does care, Deuteronomy 33:25, it just talks about as thy days are, so shall thy strength be, meaning that whatever we gonna go through today, I'm confident that the Lord gonna give me the strength to make it through it. It might not turn out the way that I want it, but it ain't gonna kill me. All right. So hey, if the Lord put this problem in front of me with my business, hey, he gonna allow me to figure it out. And I also I don't know if you have a Christian audience or not, but I know you a believer as well. Um, I want people to know, like, hey, you don't have to be ashamed to be a believer in business. A lot of people will tell you, hey, you can't mix religion and business, but you got to understand that, hey, in business, and again, I'm about to talk that talk. You decide who your customers are. So if you don't want to do business with me, like let's say I had a restaurant, I got the best food in town, but when you come to my restaurant, I'm gonna be playing gospel music. We're gonna be playing the old ones. Cool and Water was my grandma and them favorite song. You got to be super old to know that song. But we playing old school gospel songs. Hey, if that bothers you, you're not gonna eat there, right? Same way with if a man has an Indian restaurant, he want to play Indian music. If a man has a Chinese restaurant and he wants to play the kind of music that he likes from his home country, right? If it's a soulful restaurant, we want to play R&B and hip hop, right? So I have that mentality in all my businesses. I try to create the highest quality product or service that I can in anything that I do. However, I'm not ashamed. I'm not gonna try to, when you come in the door, I ain't gonna, hey, did you go to church Sunday? Did you go to Bible study Wednesday night? Hey, I'm gonna give you a Bible. Here's a test. Find Mark. How long do it take for you to find Hebrews in the Bible? Like, so it ain't like that. I do tell people that all of my success is from God. I don't take credit for anything. I'm honestly not that smart. I got the GPAs to prove it. High school, I might have had like a 2.25. In undergrad, I might have had the same thing. Even in grad school, in order to get the master's degree from the regionally accredited school that I went to, you had to have at least a 3.0 GPA. I had a 3.0 GPA. I was never an overachiever. I literally, what I need to pass, that's what I had. And I even know now, I'm the first person in my family with a master's degree, but I know people that got PhDs, and it sounds good to say I'm Dr. Hustles, I'm Dr. So-and-so, but I know these people, hey, I got whatever I needed to pass. Hey, but at the end of the day,
that's all it counts.
Unless I tell you, you don't know. So I can put whatever I want as on the end of my name. But yeah, as thy days are, so shall thy strength be. If you believe in God, I ain't saying that you gotta preach to everybody and beat them over the head with it, but you also don't gotta be ashamed of it. It's a scripture in the Bible that talks about when people were given talents and somebody that hid their talent was taken away from them and given to the one that had the most talent. So I feel like I'm not smart enough to do this without the help of God. Now I'm not somebody big on, because I feel like people abuse it when they say the Lord spoke to me and did this or that. So I'm not trying to tell you that the Lord came to me in a dream or nothing crazy like that. But what I do believe is that if you keep God first and you are sincerely interested in doing something and it doesn't go against the purpose that he has for you. Because I don't care if you want to work a job and make $50,000 a year and have a good life, or if you want to make $1 million and live a good life, as long as that doesn't conflict with what your spiritual purpose is. My opinion, not trying to sell you on this. I'm only talking to the believers right now. I don't think that God has a problem with that. Why you feel that way, JT? Well, if you believe in the Bible like I do, you'll know that Solomon asked the Lord for wisdom. I made a recent post about it. In today's dollars, Solomon is also historically the richest man of all time. In today's dollar, Solomon would be worth $2 trillion. So you can't say, now, not saying that, that you will be worth $2 trillion if you keep God first and you're not ashamed of him, you ask him to help him. However, those people that try to associate financial gains with being bad for Christians, there's crooks in everything. So they crooked preachers that'll run off with your money, that are Christian, Muslim, Jewish. They people that ain't got no religion at all that'll still be crooks and run off with your money. It's also good people as well. So that's why I put it in my Instagram bio. That's why I don't mind telling people about it. If it runs people off, that's one less person that I got to deal with that's going to bring the wrong type of energy anyway. But I do want to encourage you, hey, not saying that you got to get a tattoo across your forehead, but I wouldn't hide it. And it naturally comes out. So like how we talked a lot about business, this wasn't a sermon, but hey, we did touch on certain points and things like that as well.
It just happens to be part of your branding. Whatever you are, whoever you are, it's naturally going to come out authentically in your brand anyways, one way or another.
Yeah,
that's
man.
What I believe.
Yeah, and don't take it to the other extreme either. For the men out there that are watching, men and women out there, excuse me, that are watching it, where I got family like this, I got friends like this, so I ain't attacking nobody. If you like this, I know people that I'm close to are like this as well too, and they feel like if it's meant for me, it's gonna be for me. And I think that yes and no. I think that at the same time, if you are a spiritual person, you also believe that faith without work is dead. So it could be meant for you. If your house catch on fire, it could be meant that you don't get burned up in it. But also, if you lay in your bed and say, Lord, if it ain't meant for me to get burnt up, you will teleport me outside. Like you gonna burn up and possibly die. So
no, you need to help yourself too.
Yeah, so I think some people, they'll feel like, that's complicated, that's hard to do. So I'm gonna just say, if it's meant for me, the Lord will simplify it and make it easy and put it on a platter and just give it to me. I think yes and no, right? I think that he might not put it on a platter for you. He might give you an opportunity, like the old Chinese proverb. This is not Christianity, but they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So maybe you trying to learn how to do something, and maybe you realize somebody you just met, a friend of a friend, a cousin's friend, they know how to do that, or in your YouTube recommended, or you just search for it, you find it on Google and YouTube. So now, like I said, I'm not trying to make nobody believe that the Lord opened up my eyes and he be telling me, JT, make this kind of app or nothing like that, because that ain't what I believe. But I do think that the Lord will allow you to find what you're looking for. You know what I mean? I don't want to say too much.
But when you're ready, like you said, when that student is ready, the teacher will appear. It could be a room full of teachers, but if you ain't trying to learn, it's not going to happen.
Absolutely.
You have to really be ready to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'd be ready to make it happen.
Absolutely.
And then you start seeing people who want to help you after you start helping yourself.
Yeah, and you gotta have a mentality as it relates to business. Don't let anybody tell you that and this might sound contradictory, but just the mentality wise, right? For somebody that's new,